Video is about the history and haunted legend of Bhangarh Fort. Bhangarh Fort, located in the Alwar district of Rajasthan, is a monumental structure that has captured both historical interest and paranormal curiosity. Its history is a blend of grandeur, royal legacy, and mystery. Let's delve deeper into its past, from its construction to the eerie legends that have come to define its present day reputation. Bhangarh Fort was built in the 16th century around 1573 by Maharaja Madho Singh I, the younger brother of Man Singh I, a general in Emperor Akbar's Navaratna. Madho Singh I was a ruler of Ambir, and his decision to construct Bhangarh Fort was to ensure the protection and security of the region and its surrounding villages. The fort stands on the edge of the Aravalli Range and overlooks the beautiful Sariksha Tiger Reserve. The fort was constructed as a royal residence for the ruler and his family, and its design reflects the grandeur typical of the period. The architecture of Bhangarh Fort features temples, palaces, gates, and havelis built with traditional Rajasthani style. The fort was also strategically built near an important trade route, which would have provided the kingdom with both defense and commercial advantages. The fort is particularly known for its five gates, with the main gate being the largest, leading into the fortified complex. Inside there were temples, other royal chambers that served the needs of the king and his court. At its peak, Bhangar Fort and its surrounding area were a prosperous and thriving region. The fort's design was intended to offer security from any external threat. However, the fort's prosperity did not last, and it eventually fell into disrepair, largely due to a series of unfortunate events tied to the region's history and local myths. There are several stories related to the Bhangar fort's abandonment. The most popular story is of Tantric and Princess. According to the story, the Princess Ratnavati of Bhangar was very beautiful, and there was no one like her in all of Rajasthan. When the princess turned 18, she started getting matrimonial proposals from the other states. In the same region lived a Tantric magician named Singhia, who was well versed in the occult. He was desperately in love with the princess despite knowing that he would never be allowed to even see her. One day he saw the princess's maid in the market buying scented oil for her. Seeing this, he got an idea by which he could meet the princess. He used his black magic and put a spell on the oil, which would hypnotize the princess by merely touching the oil, and she would surrender herself to him. The princess foiled this plan though. She had seen the tantric enchanting the oil, and she therefore threw it away. The bottle of the oil was broken over a stone. As soon as the oil touched the stone, it started rolling towards the weak tantric and cursed him. While dying, Singhya cursed the palace with the death of all the dwelt in it, without any rebirth in their destinies. The very next year, there was a battle in Bhangar, and Ratnavati died in it. After this, people started believing in the curse and left the fort for safer places. Finally, the fort was abandoned. Another legend claims that an ascetic named Balanath lived in the Bhangar. When the king Madho Singh planned to build the Bhangar fort, he obtaining permission from the ascetic Balanath. Ascetic permitted him after the king agreed to a condition that said the shadow of the fort must never fall upon the home of the ascetic. Everything was fine with Bhangar Fort till the time one of the ambitious successors of Madho Singh added vertically to fortify against enemy attacks. Due to the causing fort's ominous shadow which engulfed the above of the Aztec. After the promise broke, the fort was doomed within no time. The locals believed that the prophecy stood fulfilled and the Bhangar Fort became haunted. Though some people don't believe in these stories and consider this as myth, it is believed that during the famine of 1783 in Ajabgarh, the town was abandoned and never occupied after that. It remained abandoned and turned into ruins gradually. Since the fort is surrounded by forests, so wild animals freely moved inside. It is also believed that the fort was abandoned due to the plague or famine. These are some of the most popular stories as well as a logical explanation for abandonment. There are many temples near the fort. A small temple is situated near the main gate. Another temple is Someshwar temple in the fort premise. At the top of the fort there is Jin Pret's temple. There are also many other temples like Keshav Rai temple, Mangla Devi temple, Hanuman temple, Gopinath temple, Ganesh temple and Naveen temple. Locals pray in the temples every day. They believe the blessing of the god protects them from any evil in the fort. The fort is under the Archaeological Survey of India and remains open between 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. All the monuments under control of ASI remains open from sunrise to sunset, and the Bhangarh Fort is not an exception. The Archaeological Survey of India had put up a signboard at Bhangarh Fort's gates. Entering the borders of Bhangarh before sunrise and after sunset is strictly prohibited. This is the standard rule for all ASI monuments, but since Bhangarh Fort is considered haunted, so people spread that this signboard is due to the paranormal experiences of this fort. Many visitors and locals have shared chilling accounts of strange happenings at Bhangarh Fort. People often hear eerie sounds such as screaming, laughing, or drums playing at night, which is unsettling for those brave enough to visit the site after dark. Some claims to have seen shadows and ghostly appearances moving within the ruins, especially near the temples or palace section of the fort. Visitors frequently mention an overwhelming feeling of unease when they approach the fort, with some experiences dizziness or sudden changes in temperature. A few tourists have reported that objects such as their mobiles, phones, or cameras stop working as they approach certain areas of the fort, or images taken inside the fort appears blurry or distorted. Though the Indian government and the ASI have not officially claimed that existence of paranormal activity, Bhangarh Fort's reputation as one of the India's most haunted places is well established. Bhangarh Fort is not just a historical site, it is a place that has sparked curiosity and fascination for centuries. Its grandeur, once a symbol of royal power, has now given way to the ruins of once thriving fortress. The blend of history, tragic events, and supernatural tales has solidified Bhangarh's place as one of the most eerie and mystifying landmarks in India. While the fort's history remains largely rooted in historical facts, it is the legend of curses and ghosts that continue to captivate the imagination of people from all over the world, making Bhangarh Fort a compelling mixture of real history and mythological horror. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, visiting Bhangarh Fort remains an experience steeped in both awe and fear.